This episode of WDW Today is sponsored by All Star Vacation Homes. With over 150 vacation rentals to choose from, All Star Vacation Homes will help you find the perfect vacation accommodation for your Orlando vacation. Their vacation rentals range from 3, 4, or 5-star homes or condos, and all offer the comfort and convenience of fully equipped kitchens, multiple master suites with televisions in every bedroom, and your own private pool with a barbecue grill. For more information, go to allstarvacationhomes.com, where you'll discover that hospitality has a new home.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, September, is it 19th? I believe so.
Which one of us is drinking again?
And this is episode 8.
I'm the one with the tequila. What you're sober.
Yeah, but I'm drunk vicariously, I guess.
Okay, all right.
This is episode 464, I believe. Matt, hurry up and get married. 464 of WDW Today, and filling in for the soon-to-be married, Matt Hochberg is me, Mike Scoper of All Ears Net. On the show tonight, we have the pleasure of having the co-author of the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World and the man who makes www.touringplans.com the best touring plan site and tool on the internet, the one and only Mr. Pittsburgh Steeler himself, Len Testa. How's the hip, Len?
Doing much better, thanks. Hey, a quick question, though. If Hochberg's getting married tomorrow, why did he call me today from Mexico?
Well, there's a reason for that, Matt. See,
okay.
He's actually studying hard for his wedding. In fact, yeah. I have some inside information that today he received a package from Netflix, and he is actually going to be cramming for his honeymoon tonight. See, he just rented Rochelle, a young girl's erotic journey from Milan to Minsk, and he's going to watch it tonight.
All right, it was funny, except you called me Matt. So again, I got to ask, which one of us is drinking?
That's two.
That's two. Save it for the show, as we say. Oh, and also, we have none other than...
Ta-da!
And I wrote this today, folks. I hope you really appreciate this. We have the only person I know who has a fast pass to the Nine Dragons restaurant, and the number one sound man in the podcast business, and who is responsible for giving us our Disney fix 24 hours a day with Mouse World Radio, the one, the only, Mr. Sound, Mike Newell. How you doing, Mike?
Thank you for that lovely introduction. I am so flattered.
Well, it's just there's an air of eloquence.
I think the air is just clean. That's the way I think it is.
Exactly.
It's just,
hey, guys! Before we get started, I don't know if you know this, but today is International Talk Like a Pirate Day, September 19th. So, Mike, I was wondering if you can get some outro music for us for Pirates of the Caribbean when we're done with the show.
Len, whatever I can do to make your experience better.
I'm just saying that this show is so much easier now, and I don't know what's different about it, but it just seems like it's more fun and funnier and quicker and wittier and easier to do. I could totally be wrong. Anyway.
I agree. You know what? Let's do an hour show tonight. Forget the 20-minute nonsense we've been doing.
20-minute. I feel confined and boxed in when it's all like that.
An hour with you guys will go by like 5 minutes.
It will.
It's so true.
So we don't have Matt tonight, and I believe Annette is somewhere in some place called Disneyland. Maybe she's appearing on DLToday.com if there's ever a podcast like that. So it's just the three of us. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to look back at our experience in visiting Walt Disney World, and we're going to try to come up with what we recall works and hasn't worked over the years, and put together what we feel would be the 10 commandments of Walt Disney World trip planning. And I'm going to turn to Len first and see what his commandments are. So, Len, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, so the first commandment of Walt Disney World was actually suggested by Laurel, one of our listeners, and that's "Thou shalt not eat in Fantasyland." To which I love, because there's really nothing good in Fantasyland to eat. There's the Mrs. Potts place, right, which is good for a stale bagel or an overly dry blueberry muffin and a lame cup of coffee, but nothing else, right? And right. Pinocchio Village House doesn't really do anything else. The panini isn't that good. The seating is difficult to find. There's just nothing good about eating in Fantasyland. And I might add, eating in Dinoland probably not also a good idea. Anyway, that's my first one. The second one, what's in Dinoland?
There's
the Petrifies place, right? But
forget it.
But Donald's Breakfastosaurus? Nah.
Why even go to Dinoland? Let's not even get into that. That's another show in itself.
Whole another show. Show. So my other command is, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's ears. Look, you're going to see people walking around Walt Disney World in the goofiest kind of that you can, and you might want to beat that out, by the way. Look, it might look cute when you're there. It doesn't look cute when you bring it home to Omaha. No one wants to see you walking around the house in a Mickey Mouse sweater with big yellow Mickey Mouse boots and Mickey Mouse ears. You're going to wear them once while you're there, and that's it. It's a waste of money. You know what's better to spend your money on? Drinking and food.
Not necessarily in that order.
Whatever.
But was it food compresses or was it food water?
Liquids don't compress. That was our mantra from the show.
That was your first mistake.
Exactly. All right.
Got another one?
I got two more. Thou shalt take naps. Everyone tells you that naps are so the kids are in better moods. Again, a whole bunch of crap. The naps are for you to be in a better mood so you can deal with the kids who are going to be hyperactive and crazy, as they should be in Walt Disney World. If you're a kid, Walt Disney World is a perfect place. You need the rest to be calm, cool, and collected and have fun too. Thou shalt take naps.
Absolutely right.
And a corollary to that, thou shalt leave when thou is not having fun. Look, if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's hot and it's humid and everyone's tired, go back to the hotel. You're not doing anyone any favors by staying in the park. Leave. Go take the nap. Go play in the pool. Go do something else until everyone else is happy, and then come back into the parks. You'll be thankful you did. All right, that's what I got. Because you know me, I'm more of a loose, no rules kind of guy. I've got 4.
That's true. All right.
If Hotspur were here, he'd have 50. But anyway, go ahead. Because that's the kind of uptight dude he is. I think marriage will change him.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. All right. Let's see. So Len had 4, so I'll go at number 5, and this one's pretty simple. Thou shalt not be ignorant. It's very simple. With all the books, with all the stuff on the internet, with all the podcasts, there is no excuse for not knowing what you're getting yourself into when you're planning a trip to Walt Disney World. I mean, you can talk to people who have been down there. You can do research. You can read trip reports, surf the internet. There's just no reason why anyone should find themselves overwhelmed by trip planning, knowing what to do, how to do it. There's just no excuse. So thou shalt not be ignorant. Just don't be stupid. Make sure you do as much as you can before you actually sit down and start planning a trip.
That's great. That's really good.
I mean, it's almost common sense. Okay. Now, along with that comes the second commandment that I've come up with, and this will be number 6.
I bring you these 10 commandments.
The imposition. Okay,
here we go.
The imposition. Let's see. My second one is very simple. Thou shalt not pay full price.
You are the best at this.
I'll tell you. I mean, if you're going to...
Did you walk by like a burning bush or something on the way to the show?
Must have been. And Newell was hiding behind it with a microphone. I'll tell you.
The show is so much funnier tonight.
I mean, there's no stress, no pressure. There's no outstanding. It's really
just like a scrimmage. It's not like an uptight, playoff game. I love it. This is great.
I can do this all night.
Fabulous.
Let's face it. We know that there are, and I'm making a crucifix sign with my fingers. Rack rates. We know that they're out there, but we also know that none of us ever pay rack rates because we're always looking to see how we can get the best rates. Discounts, AP discounts, AAA discounts, you name it. They're out there. You can go to so many sites and find out what's going on with discounts. All Ears, Mouse Savers. There are so many places. And it doesn't stop with room rates. It also talks about things like the party tickets, how that there are certain nights for AP holders or DVC members who can get discounts. Ticket prices, you can save a little bit here and there. Rental cars. I mean, there are so many places that you can go to. Again, it's a little bit like that first commandment, thou shalt not be ignorant. But let's face it, today's economy, you need to save as much as you can. So do not pay full price.
I love that. That's great.
That's the second one. So now we've got 6. I think you'll like this one, Lynn. My number 3 is thou shalt make a touring plan. As much as this is it's a plug for your site, but let's face it, if you don't go into a park without a plan, you're in trouble, because you may be overwhelmed, especially if you haven't been in a while, or if you haven't been at all. You're overwhelmed by all the sights and sounds and colors and music and characters and everything. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And if you don't get your act together early on, you'll find yourself hopelessly, lost. You'll find yourself in a theme park midday, and you'll be looking at 40-minute, 50-minute lines. So it's very important that you have a plan. Hopefully, you'll make use of some of the many tools that are on the internet, and one being, of course, touringplans.com. But let's face it, the important thing here is to plan ahead. So that's my third one. I've got 3 down. Mike, would you like to chime in?
I jotted a couple down. One of them I wanted to relay on something you did, what you said, and I'm going to call it "Thou shalt be considerate to others." You're on vacation. The last thing you need. I mean, how many times I've seen people, total strangers, get into arguments because of who's in line in front of who and who stepped on who. When I like to go, I like to let all that stuff out in the parking lot. I like to leave my frustration in the car and get into the park and just be like 10 again, like I'm 10 years old. And I like to go in there, and if somebody skips me in line, okay, is it nice? No, but I like to leave all that frustration and look the other way. And, I'm on vacation. I'm in the happiest place on earth. Let me have a good time.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not worth the hassle. And, it comes down to theme park protocol, really.
Exactly. And just overall niceness, I think. Another one I had that I'm doing these plays on what you guys said, and someone mentioned do not eat in Dinoland. I'm going to say thou shalt not even go to Dinoland. I think I've been there once, and I just walk right past by it. I don't even bother with Dinoland anymore. I don't even acknowledge it exists. It's a hole in the earth to me. So I don't even.
You're dead to me. The entire land.
Dinoland is dead to me.
The only thing I remember walking through with you guys in May just so that we could get to Dinosaur. I think that was the only last time I was there.
And just walked right past it. And my last one that I wrote down, and this one is to our dearest friend who's getting hitched. Thou shalt call it Pecos Bill.
Pecos.
Oh my God!
Once and for all, please. Call it the right name.
So call attractions by the right name.
Yes. And that goes for guests on the show too, I think.
Oh, that's so funny. So I can't call it Epcroft anymore. Or Mickey's Judgment Tent, which I just love. Because it's the idea of Mickey on this big throne, going, you're in trouble, and it's. I just think it's funny. He should have there should be a little smoke machine behind him, a big scepter and everything. That's classic.
Let's see. Len, have any more come to mind?
What about dining reservations? Should there be a commandment about dining reservations?
I have that.
Do you really?
Thou shalt make ADRs early.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean it's like we're on a vibe tonight. You're firing on all 3 cylinders.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Love it.
Especially, and I actually, there's a little comment I wrote next to this little commandment. I said, "Thou shalt make ADRs early, especially if you are thinking about the dining plan. You make the ADRs first, and then if you're satisfied with the ADRs, then you say, hey, let me think about this dining plan."
Ooh, I love it.
Okay. I have another one. Thou shalt make use of extra magic hours. Now, before the show started, we talked
about that. Yeah. I thought about that.
We talked. Maybe we should, Len, do you want to tell everybody how the extra magic hour operation works now?
So it's for evening extra magic hours, right?
Right.
So for evening extra magic hours, guests are required to show their Disney Resort ID, which is the credit card-like thing that you get when you check into the hotel. It's your room key, essentially. Every guest is required to show one of those. This replaces the old wristband thing that you used to have to get at City Hall or different places around the various parks. Now, the issues with that we're hearing is that it's taking cast members a long time to check that the resort IDs are valid. Some people are bringing in resort IDs from their trip 2 years ago because Disney hasn't changed the room key design much. So Disney cast members are now looking at the dates on every one of those cards, and that's causing some backups and some lines.
Yeah, I really didn't understand this because now they're checking guests all the time instead of checking them once and giving them a wristband. So
yeah, I don't know. Was it expensive or time consuming or inconvenient to get the wristband? I mean, you'd think that it's an inconvenience you have to do once. It's not something that you have to worry about over and over again.
Yeah, I would love to know why this decision was made, but
I mean, is it a cost savings that they had to have the cast members there anyway? I don't know. Yeah. It just seems odd to me. But I like your so I like your idea of using the extra magic hours. That's good.
I have a few more. I know we're running out of time. I wanted to give both of you guys an opportunity to chime in with any more before I just rattle the ones I had.
You're doing fine. Go ahead.
You're doing great.
Yeah, you are.
All right. The last few I have is some of these are related to ones we've already talked about. I said thou shalt use the Fast Pass. The Fast Pass was the Fast Pass was incorporated at Walt Disney World because the largest complaint that the resort always got from guests was that they hated waiting in long lines, and that's why the Fast Pass was incorporated. It's not perfect, but it's much better than waiting. So thou shalt use the Fast Pass. Along with that, I have in here, thou shalt be an early bird. Regardless of whether a theme park is having extra magic hour mornings or not, getting there as the turnstiles open is so important. By midday, it's just not as fun as during the first hour. So be an early bird. The next one is something that, it's not necessarily something to help you when you plan, but your present trip, but your next trip, and that is thou shalt write a journal or a trip report. Write down what worked for you. Write down what didn't work for you, and write down in this journal, in this trip report, what you're thinking about for your next trip. It'll help you. Not every trip is perfect. Not everything's going to work well, and so you need to figure out what type of contingency plans would work for your next trip.
That's a great piece of advice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tool. Your trip report can be a tool. I have two more. One of them is thou shalt be flexible. And this comes in case of when you are in a theme park and it's raining. Okay, so if my touring plans are set with great weather in place, what would I do if it's raining? What would I do if it's really more crowded than I anticipated? To have a contingency plan, like I had said in the previous one, I think you need to be flexible. Finally, and I'm not sure exactly how I can explain this one, but thou shalt not bite off more than thou can chew.
Oh, we're talking about Casey's Corner here, right?
We're talking about Casey's Corner, yeah.
We're talking about the double cheeseburger over at Pecos Bill's.
I think that a lot of people.
Pecos.
Or, one time over at the patisserie over in France, I actually managed to eat an entire slice of cheesecake in 2 bites by literally stuffing it all in my mouth. I think I was somehow able, snake-like, to unhinge my jaw to do that. Is this what we're talking about here?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right, good. I'm just checking. Okay, cool.
Exactly. I guess there are people who they go down there and no matter how much planning they do, they'll say, "Hey, the heck with my plans! Oh, look at this! I'm going to have fun. I'm going to go here and I'm going to go there." And next thing you know, they're lost. So I think that people have to be very, very careful about being overwhelmed when they get down there and sticking to their plan. So I guess we've pretty much covered it, huh?
That's fabulous.
I'll tell you, it's been a fabulous episode. I want to thank you guys. It's been just very cheerful. Mike, thank you for bringing that lovely Chardonnay. It had a very nice bouquet.
Oh, thank you.
And Len, the brie was just absolutely fabulous.
And don't forget, we're going to be in Walt Disney World October 3rd through the 5th for food and wine and hanging out. So if any listeners are there, let us know and we will buy some baklava or something together and eat.
baklava, and Gravlex.
Nice.
The Gravlex, exactly.
Gravlex.
All the Gravlex you can eat. All right.
all the Gravlex you can eat. Well, that's it for our show today. And this episode of WDW Today has been sponsored by All-Star Vacation Homes. With over 150 vacation rentals to choose from, All-Star Vacation Homes will give you the perfect vacation accommodations for your Orlando vacation. Their vacation rentals range from 3, 4, or 5-star homes or condos, all offering the comfort and convenience of fully equipped kitchens, multiple master suites with televisions in every bedroom, and your own private pool with a barbecue grill. So for more information, go to www.allstarvacationhomes.com, where you'll discover that hospitality has a new home. If you'd like to check out our old episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, please visit the WDW Today website at where else but www.wdwtoday.com. Man, I'm getting tired of saying that. You can send your questions to us at questions@wdwtoday.com. For the fabulous Len Testa and the wonderful Mike Newell, I'm Mike Scopa, and we'll see you next time.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.